So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop. Prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on, so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. You might have heard that live shopping is exploding, and I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. How are you? Happy Tuesday. So let me ask you a question. Have you got a big old stack of goals, like laminated, maybe in your wallet or your purse or your pocket, that you carry around with you? A real long list of goals, do you? I do. No, I don't. I'm lying. I don't. I have a few written down, but I understand the purpose of those goals, and that's why it's so easy for me to keep track of them. Do you do that? We'll talk about that today, the purpose of your goals and where you may be getting off track and maybe where you might be right on track. Could be either one. We'll see. It is a daily boost from motivationtomove.com. Every single day since about 2 weeks after podcasting was invented, I was there. Simple mission. I understood that life begins when you move. In other words, you decide you have an idea to get up and go do it. And then I also understood very quickly, life gets in the way. Challenges happen. It's a why. I just want to do this. Why did things get more difficult? I'm like, I don't like that idea. I never liked that. I just didn't. And so I thought, okay, well, if it's going to happen anyway, let's figure out a way to get beyond it, which is kind of what today's show is about. It's focusing on the getting beyond that life getting in the way moments and getting what you want. So anyway, it'll be a fun show today. I'm happy to have you here today. Springtime is coming. It's getting so nice out there all around the country. A little, what do they call it? The upper tier of America, way up there, Minnesota and stuff. Still cold there. Here in Florida, it's just gorgeous. I'm just going to say it out loud on the podcast. My name is Scott Smith. I'm the founder and the chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. Happy you're here today as we get on with this big show. Goal setting. Okay, come here for a second. Inside Scott Logic. Scott Logic is just it's how I make sense of the world. It's do this, not that, because this works and that doesn't work. And that's kind of it. It's common sense. You've got your own version of it. I have a more studied version, probably in some ways, not every way, probably actually maybe 1% of the ways, and only because that's what I pay attention to every single day of my life. And I talk to people all over the world and get lots of feedback from it. So my opinion is based on that. And when it comes to goals, I think two things. I think, first off, goals are one of those powerful things you can do when they're purpose-driven, when you know what you're doing. Without a goal, you're, as Zig Ziglar used to say, you're a wandering generality. And that's it. So we want you to be a meaningful, specific, and have goals to head after. So goals, I think, are the most powerful tool you have. You're hardwired. If you understand mind science at all, you know that your mind likes goals. You do. You can go read the book on it. It's all there. I'm not going to do that on today's show. That's a whole other program. But I also understand goals are used in another way. they're almost a no value. Well, I should set some goals. I've got goals. What's your goal today? Well, I need to go get gas in my car. No, it's not a goal. So fundamentally, over my time of doing this thing that I do, and I do this a lot, I have basically got on the phone with people and said, that's not a goal. This is a goal. And we've gone back and forth. So today is about essentially asking you to question yourself and your goals. As they are the most powerful thing you can do. You'll get anything you want if you set a really good goal. And if you use your heart, I call them heartbeat goals. Do what makes your heart sing, is what I tend to say when I get around this. To use these goals to build the best life possible. So, okay, it's a silly question here, generic question, but do the best you can, okay? What is your best life supposed to be? Have you thought about that? I, again, have a lot of conversations, and I will get a lot of people who will say to me, I just want my best life. And I'll say, okay, what's that? And they have no idea. Imagine the moment when you think you know what the answer is going to be, and then you don't know what the answer is. I would guess that there's a very significant portion of this audience right now that will agree that they want to live their best life. But if I ask for specifics on it, you'll be hard-pressed. And I bet you that once you think about it, it's going to come down to basics. It's not going to come down to anything fancy. It's going to be very, very simple stuff, just happy and healthy and family and all that stuff. Now think about that today. So a long time ago, it kind of came my belief in goals because I was reading books. I was listening to gurus, the whole thing, and it didn't work. It didn't work. So I just found that I was happy when I was chasing something that was bigger than me, that was also in alignment with how I felt on the inside. I think you can probably agree with that. It just makes sense, right? When you're going after something that makes you happy as you're running after it, it feels like your whole soul's into it. That's going to make you happy. I was unhappy when I was checking off items from my list and not honoring my true self. And we all do that because you read a book, you listen to a guru, you go watch a movie. I want to do that. And you write it down as a goal. Somebody says, and this is a big one, by the way. Some people live with this their whole life. Oh, you'd be so good at this. This is what you should do. Go do it. Some people don't wake up for 40 years and go, my God, what have I been doing my whole life? I just recognized chasing that thing that didn't resonate with my inner values didn't make me happy. So after a lot of years of pondering, I kind of concluded that a purposeful outcome would eliminate the frustration, the boredom, all that stuff that comes with it, the general excitement, the enthusiasm is what I wanted. How do I do that? So let me define two goals. Now, this is going to be silly. As we go through this, you'll think, this is silly. What's he got? There's a point after this. So we'll get to the point. First, number one, the first definition of goals is the end toward which effort is directed. Duh. That's where you're going. This is the end. You're deciding what it's going to be. Specifically, what is that end? When I say, I just want to live my best life, I guess that's kind of an end, sort of, but it'd be much better if you could describe very specifically what that is. The end toward which your effort is directed. Now, another definition of goals, here's the silly part. I can't do a show without being silly. It's kind of my personality. An area or object toward which players in various games attempt to advance the ball or the puck, and usually through or into which must go to score points. An actual definition of goal setting. Now, the problem is most people that I run into on a day-to-day basis, and I run into a lot of people on a day-to-day basis and have this very conversation with many people many times a week. Most of them are living in goal setting, the description number 2. It's like they're shoving a puck into a net to score a point. They're living off their to-do list. Their to-do list is just they got a hockey stick and a bunch of pucks on their to-do list. It's a very short-term outlook. Now, you set goals, but they're minimal goals, minor goals. Going to the bank and making a deposit or filling up your car with gas, then, well, that might be a big goal. Paying for it might be, maybe. But that's just basic stuff that you do every single day. And folks who focus on that tend to just kind of be wandering around and not necessarily getting what they want, not taking the time to think about things. The people who focus on the first are more long-term thinkers. But what is the real difference? Well, the question would be this. What end do you have in mind? What end do you have in mind exactly? So as a heartbeat goal setter, when I just believe that goals are the heartbeat of my life, I should do what makes my heart sing because I know that makes me happy and I live a better life. I live my best life when I do that, right? So a heartbeat goal setter like I am knows that there are lots of ends. There are lots of little ends along the way. There's little achievements that happen every single day as we work toward our main goal achievement, the one we're really going after. That's what they call the termination point of a goal. It's kind of a weird name, right? Termination point of a goal. Wait a second. That's weird. But it's true. When you define the end as the big thing, the big ass goal you want out on the other side, and that's when you get there, you've achieved it, you're done. That's just part of the equation. So we know that lives out there. That's what we're going to go after and do as a heartbeat goal setter. But we also understand all those little ends in between. That's what excites and drives us. It's that experience I call the goal setting experience along the way. It's deciding that, no, this is where I'm heading, but every single step along the way is really a step. I'm going to have fun with it. I'm going to experience it, whether it makes me happy or makes me sad, doesn't matter. I just know I got to go through this to get to that, my predetermined outcome. And just taking the pressure off yourself, just saying, I'm going to get there. I'm just going to be flexible, and no matter what it takes, I'm going to focus in on the day and the experience and just make sure I keep adjusting my trajectory so that I arrive where I want to be, the final destination, the termination point, if you will, if you're going. Termination point, it's kind of doesn't really work for me, but it's kind of fun to say in this context. So I guess in a nutshell, what I'm really saying to you is that if you're caught up in the day-to-day and your goals are just kind of simple and superficial, maybe not technically are, but you just haven't really embraced them yet. If that's what they are, you need to slow down and say, okay, on the big end, on the big stuff, what do I really want to accomplish in my life, in the next decade, whatever it happens to be for you? Because whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, whether you've taken a moment to express it or not, to internalize it or not, your life is ticking off faster than you can possibly imagine. Ask anybody who suddenly turns 70 or 80 years old, they'll say, where'd it go? So the truth is right now, if you just look at goals differently, you say, what's the ultimate goal? You can have 10, 15, 20, I don't care what they are, but what's the ultimate thing you want to do? And then how do I enjoy those little endpoints along the way? So at the end of the day, life is fantastic and interesting and fun and exciting. Was that Slack knocking on me right there? I guess I forgot to turn off my notifications, but I'm not going to stop now. Think about this. Mastering goal setting is so powerful, and I know everybody talks about it, and I actually don't spend enough time on it because I see it as very simple. A few goals, great outcome, wonderful experiences along the way. Do that, life is good. Have a great day. Get out there and enjoy nice weather if you have it. If not, maybe tomorrow. I'll see you tomorrow right here on the Daily Boost.